Welcome to episode 57 of Prof.
And Dev Play Games. I am the Professor Larry, and over there is Anthony.
The developer.
How the heck are you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing good. Got a glass of wine,
Nice.
relaxing by a fire, getting prepared for Halloween.
Damn, sounds
Yeah.
cozy. Cozy.
It is cozy.
I went through a six-pack of beer earlier, so I'm not drinking now. My wife and I are on a deadline. We were approached by a publisher to write like an article or a story or whatever for this upcoming baseball anthology, because they heard through a mutual friend that we were big baseball fans, and we've known since I don't know, the summer about writing this project, and I started and finished my article today. So I definitely ascribe to the idea of writing drunk and editing sober. So tomorrow I'll look at the mess and see how I can fix it up. But it came out pretty good, actually. Karen, my wife, really liked it. So,
Sounds like the stereotypical writer's journey.
yeah, but less.
I should write. This thing's happening. I'm writing.
Yeah, let's do it now. I actually thought you were referring to the inebriated part of that. I was like, at least I didn't have
That
cocaine.
too. That adds to it.
Yeah.
It's true.
Oh,
We're not
God.
in the, I would say, in the cocaine times anymore.
Well, except for the poor. I don't know if you read the news about Jose Fernandez today.
No.
You know what, the Marlins pitcher who died in the boating accident.
Yeah.
Found quite a bit of cocaine in his system, and all the friends on the boat. So that's just sad. A young life cut short due to poor decisions.
So for some research a while ago, like a year ago, I was doing on just settings and themes. Man, the 70s were a much different time when it came to cocaine.
In terms of just everyone was doing it, or all the rich people were doing
It's
it?
in ads. There's ads in magazines, not for cocaine, but for like blades to make lines. Like you know what it's for. This is just ads
Right.
in like normalized magazines.
That's weird.
It was pre-drug war, basically.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's why it's weird, because we've been.
We've only grown up in
The drug
post-drug wars, but before that,
Yeah.
you're just like, I'm like, holy crap, this stuff was just there, I guess.
Wow. I mean, I guess it's
It's
like
such-
the hydroponics stuff being advertised. Although it's not really like you're not really seeing hydroponics ads in like Time or something like that.
Yeah, this was stuff that was just, I mean, it was a pretty well, I don't know what magazine it was in, but it was a well-made ad, and you're just like,
It wasn't Playboy.
it could have been, honestly.
Yeah, that sounds like a
Just
Playboy
like
ad.
this ad that runs. It's like, huh,
Yeah.
weird.
Featuring Donald Trump
Could be.
sniffing it up.
Sniffing.
Oh man, so we've got a ton of stuff to talk about today. We're going to start with the implosion, apparently, of Hello Games via Twitter. Then we're going to get into some news about PlayStation peripherals, Nintendo Switch, and Bethesda's really interesting review policy that's come up. We'll talk about our games, and then we're going to finish by talking about what's in our browser tabs, basically the non-gaming stuff we've been reading lately. But we are going to start with what the fuck happened with Hello Games this week and their Twitter account. Apparently, there was a tweet that came out. It was just simply said from Hello Games, No Man's Sky was a mistake. And then the fucking internet was lit on fire.
And then they made a tweet about accounts hacked. We're going to binge watch Mr. Robot, which has set the No Man's Sky Reddit afire.
Hey, what is that? What did that mean? Was that a hacked tweet, or was that them tweeting that?
I have no clue. That's kind of the problem with all this, because it's hard to know what's real. And then getting the update, which was that this was done by a disgruntled employee. So,
and I couldn't tell, that was from the email that apparently Sean Murray sent, right? But did he really send that email? Like, was that a hack tweet?
That's the thing. Like, someone actually, I don't know. I mean, I doubt it's him. That doesn't seem like his style.
Right.
But the update said it was from a disgruntled employee, so I wouldn't be surprised if someone was on his machine.
Oh, of course. Yeah, he probably just left it open, and someone just, I mean, the hours they're logging right now and how just the mood of that studio must be just terrible right now.
Yeah, I can imagine. And I'm pretty sure this kind of is a sign. I doubt there's people internally. I mean, you always think of, like, Sean Murray as the face, but there's another dozen people there.
Right.
And they probably have different opinions on what should be happening.
Which might cause the disgruntlement.
Yes. Because as clearly since August, there's been nothing out of this studio. They have said nothing. They haven't said what they're going to update. They haven't, like, for the most part, I'm just like, No Man's Sky came out. It created a bunch of controversy. Honestly, overall reviews haven't been atrocious, but it's a disappointment overall. But they just went silent instead of trying to help along, where they were active in the Reddit before the game came out. They were active on Twitter, just posting like what they're doing. And I feel like they've lost control of the message again. Like, they lost control coming into launch, and then they haven't even tried to recover it.
Right.
They haven't, like, yes, we're working on X, this feature. This is what we're doing now. I mean, even something saying, we're not going to do anything with this game anymore. That would be fine too. You at least set, like, yep, this is happening. This is what's going on.
Right. And something you mentioned earlier, when there's silence like that coming from an actor, someone else is going to fill the silence in.
Totally. It always happens.
Yeah. I mean, there was sorry, go ahead.
It's up to the dev to control their message.
Right. Well,
you can lose it, and it's hard to get back. Like I said, when the game was coming out, like, they clearly didn't mold their message, keep it scoped, or try to, really. Mm-hmm. They just were like, let people run with their imagination. And now they're doing it again here, and it's just, as a studio, they're losing a lot of credibility.
Right. I mean, people, you mentioned that the reviews were tepid, not terrible, but not great. But there were a lot of threads. I mean, the Steam reviews are savage, and then there were tons of threads on the subreddit about things Sean Murray said before and what they actually put into the game and how those were lies, and really just calling him out for being a liar, and not just misleading, but willfully leading people on so that they could just make money off the game and then go away. And they basically have gone away.
Which is unfortunate. They're putting this face forward that kind of adds credence to that claim.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
It is unfortunate. I, as a developer, completely feel it's the wrong way. This is not how you can make games in this day and age anymore. You have to be engaged with your audience, even if it is a disappointment, because people will come back. And the thing is most of the people that have bought the game and have it, that are disgruntled, they would love for the game to get better. They didn't pay $60 to then just be like, okay, that's it. If you actually are saying, like, okay, we're doing these things, we're improving it, even incrementally, a portion of the audience will get happier towards you, more like they like to see progress. That's just
right.
People don't want to dislike it straight up. Some will, but a majority do not. They like to be involved and like to see the momentum.
And the people who put their $60 down are the ones who definitely want to see it improve. And I think the point that you just mentioned about people wanting to see even just incremental improvements, we've seen that, I mean, obviously with Destiny, Diablo 3, but really recently, The Division got a huge update that people were pissing all over that game for the longest time. And with this new update, a lot of the hardcore have said this really fixed a lot of the problems we had. And they've been very communicative about the things they're going to fix and when they're going to fix them. And, for as much shit as that game got, not so much with the initial drop, but with the end game stuff, people have come back around to it.
Yeah, I mean, you can see that over and over throughout the history of games, that you can turn things around if you set out trying to fix them and communicate and
listening to your fan base.
I want to believe that they're trying to fix things. I mean, still, No Man's Sky sold a ton of copies.
Well, how many of those were refunded?
Probably not, because it's not on Steam.
No Man's Sky?
Well, some sold on. You can look on Steam, but the numbers I saw that were like sales on PS4 are millions of copies.
Oh, okay. So you're saying it sold far less on Steam?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
PC is probably less. Probably about half.
Okay.
A third of what it's sold on console. Sony pushing it all. But still, I mean, it's not a big studio. They probably made a significant amount of money on this.
Absolutely. Well,
and for them to be like not saying they're doing anything, They even had a page before the game, like immediately after the game came out, where they were posting like updates on like what they were fixing and tweaking, and then that just stopped.
Yeah, it's not the way to run a community, and you have to run a community in order to have, if you want your game to have a tail, especially this kind of game.
Yeah.
So, and are
I
you
don't know.
even playing that game anymore?
I need a working PS4,
Oh, God damn it, I forgot.
which is it's currently on its journey back to Texas.
Oh, so you sent it in to get it redone.
Yeah. The box came last week, and
Cool.
boxed it all up, shipped it away. Laredo.
Texas, huh? Dang.
Yeah, Laredo, Texas, border town.
Wow, that's a surprise.
It is kind of. I was like, I mean, I'm sure there's a reason for.
Oh, yeah, of course.
But
There's a tax reason or a labor reason.
yeah, although I don't know. Maybe they do the labor on the Mexico side. Although, yeah, maybe it's still cheaper to train up their like Mexican technical workers.
Yeah,
Do it from there.
right.
Man, that border must be really busy.
Uh-huh. Well, if the San Diego border is anything to judge by. Although I'm pretty sure the San Diego border crossing is the busiest border crossing in the world, so
It wouldn't shock me.
it's, super, super busy.
Yeah. So
When
when it gets back, maybe I'll see what's changed.
that was going to be my question, if you're going to pop back into that.
Yeah, why not? I mean, I still enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I was having a fine time, but there's still a lot of the promise that I want. So I really would like them to continue doing stuff with it,
Right.
or just tell me and the rest of the community, just being like, we're done. We're not going to do anything with it. I'm like, okay, good to know. Not going to worry about it anymore.
Sort of like everyone wishes Valve would say about Half-Life 3. Like, we're done. It's not coming out. Like, okay, we can stop thinking about it then.
Yeah, but I think there's a part of Valve that they're always going to consider Half-Life 3.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hopefully.
It's just a matter if it will ever reach critical mass internally that they're actually going to make it.
Not when they're making so much money off of Dota.
That's true.
Dota. I think you can play as Tyrael in Dota. No, not Dota. Shit,
No.
that's Heroes of the Storm. Sorry, that's HOTS.
Yes, you can play as Tyrael in Heroes of the Storm.
I've
played HOTS.
Yeah.
That's a fun one. It's a much simpler, faster paced MOBA.
Right.
Way
Right.
easier to get into.
Yeah, I played it a little bit, but whatever. Maybe if I can go back and play as Tyrael, maybe I'll check it out again, but I doubt it. I'm not really into those games, unfortunately. I got so much other stuff to do and play. But anyway, back
What?
to... Sorry, go ahead.
You mentioned that. I didn't put it on the news. We can get into the news later or discuss it now.
So now-
BlizzCon is next week.
Oh my god, it is. That's right. What are we expecting at BlizzCon? Let's put some guesses out into the ether that we'll be embarrassed by next week.
Let me see. They just had a WoW expansion, so I doubt they're going to tell the next WoW expansion right now.
Right.
Probably next year. Hearthstone expansion, I'm certain.
Mm-hmm.
And then, what all the rumors are saying? StarCraft HD?
Yeah, we'll probably see StarCraft HD. That's one thing I was thinking about. I think we're going to see something.
Are we going to see D4?
Yeah, we're going to see big news for Diablo. It's either going to be D4 or more likely an expansion for 3. And my way out there guess, Hearthstone for Nintendo Switch.
That would be awesome.
It would be so cool. That's my far out there thing.
I'm actually surprised they haven't tried putting it on a console yet.
Yeah.
It's Unity. The Unity engine, you mean they could just put it on a console? I guess just adjust the controls. It could be on the Switch. Switch is touchscreen.
Yeah, Switch would make the most sense for me. I mean, they would all
Yeah.
be fine, but I think Switch would make the most sense. So there's my far out there guess,
Okay.
Internet. We'll see what happens. Did you buy a virtual ticket to watch BlizzCon?
No,
Yeah.
I can get all the news. I don't need to
That's
watch anything live.
That's what I was wondering. Like, why would I pay $40 to watch it live on my computer when I'm going to get the news on Reddit anyways or wherever?
I mean, I've been to BlizzCon. I mean,
You've been
the
there
panels-
in person.
the panels are actually like sitting through them. Like I can see someone that just wants the whole experience that just doesn't want the bullet points.
Oh, okay, I see.
Christian Nairn,
Oh, yeah.
Hodor, he's
Uh-huh.
DJing Friday night
Nice.
at BlizzCon.
Oh,
There's a number of people there. Like, they get a bunch of DJs in Hollywood and then bands. I mean, Tenacious D played one year.
nice.
Foo Fighters, I think, played last year. Like, they just get
Awesome.
they just get big thing, and they don't announce it until like the day before.
Right. So that's not the selling point of going. It's
Nope, they're just
going.
like, hey, there'll be a band playing something.
As
that
an
you
added
know.
bonus, here's Hodor.
Yes, Hodor DJing.
That's awesome.
I don't know. I've got some friends going, so we'll
Cool.
see.
Well, I'm excited for PlayStation Experience. That's gonna be my con of the year. And there was
There's some rumors out of that.
Uh-huh.
I saw today.
So did I. I can't remember which one it was. What was the rumor?
Uncharted DLC.
That was it. Uncharted DLC at PSX. Oof. Well, by the time I get there, I will have beaten 4. So
That's good because it says it's Uncharted 4 DLC.
Yep.
Which I don't think they've actually done story DLC for Uncharted.
I think they've just done the multiplayer, haven't they?
They have.
Yeah.
The only story DLC I think Naughty Dog has done was with
Last of Us.
Last of Us. They did that side story.
Yep.
So I don't know what the story DLC would actually be. I'm very curious. I don't want to be spoiled on it. I'll just wait until it's announced.
Yeah, of course. Well, hopefully we'll get something on the show floor. That'd be fun.
I'm sure.
That'd be so fun. How would you compare the story of Last of Us, not in terms of the content, but in terms of the quality? Last of Us versus like Uncharted 2
So
or 3.
confession, I haven't played Last of Us.
What?
Zombies.
Oh, not a fan, huh?
Nah, I was still in my anti-zombie
Okay.
phase at that point.
Yeah.
I've been tempted to go back a couple times now just because Naughty Dog is really good storytellers.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, will this actually be interesting? But man, I am so not really a fan of zombie stuff right now.
Yeah.
It's like why I don't watch Walking Dead or any of that.
Yeah,
Like,
me neither.
People are like, it's amazing. And I'm like, zombies, nope, out.
Negan killed everybody. Who cares?
I kind of got burnt out of zombies about a decade ago.
Yeah, a lot of people did. I put about 4 or 5 hours into The Last of Us back when I had the 500 gig hard drive inside, and then when I transferred the saves and put it in the 2 terabyte hard drive, somehow that save got lost. So I would have to start all over again, and I probably will one day, but I haven't gotten further than 5 hours.
What's your opinion?
Huh?
What was your opinion?
It was really, really good. But
I mean, everyone who's played it, I know, says it's a really well written.
It starts with a bang. It starts with like something that you wouldn't expect, and it's just very, very interesting. I feel like I got really close to the character, which Joel, I think.
Yeah,
and then the kid, which is not Clementine, that's Walking Dead.
Ellie.
Ellie, thank you. Yeah, I thought it was really well written. I just like with Uncharted 1, like the gunplay, like the scavenging. I don't know, in Last of Us, like scavenging to get things, to kill the zombies, and just fighting the zombies in general was just tedious for me, and I was kind of bored with that. I don't know. I'm more interested in the stories of these games.
Yeah.
So, well, anyway, we've wandered way off the reservation from Hello
Yes, we
Games.
have.
But yeah, that's a shit show, and we'll see how that goes. When we come back from the break, we will talk about. I was going to say another shit show, but no, not really. We will come back and talk about the news, so stay right there, and we will be right back. All right, my friends, welcome back from the break. I'm Larry. Over there is Anthony. I am at Prof Plays Games on Twitter, and over there is at SummerSpeak. If you follow me, you'll get a bunch of Uncharted clips for now. Anthony has much more interesting things.
I retweet things mostly,
Yeah.
and sometimes post some content, like the benign picture that I still get retweets of and likes for when I tweeted me and my wife on our anniversary.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Like that thing just keeps going slowly, but it's there.
It's got a life. Too bad you couldn't monetize it somehow.
Twitter couldn't monetize Vine.
I know. I mean, I didn't use Vine that much, but I thought it was fun.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, Vine. Sorry, Twitter. So the news, before we get to the news, Anthony has created a Steam group for Prof and Dev Play Games. We're going to start curating some stuff, which I don't really know what that means, so Anthony will explain this all.
Yeah, I mean, we just Steam, I just set up a group for us. It's public. Anyone can join. Just look for Prof and Dev Play games. But we'll hopefully in the next couple weeks go over some of the stuff that we really like to play on the PC that's on Steam, and we can set it up there as recommendations for people to play.
Awesome. Sounds great. All right. So let's get into the news. The first piece of news is, I'm so excited about this. I've been waiting for this because I'm a nerd for peripherals. There are 2 licensed Pro controllers for the PS4, something akin to the Elite controller for the Xbox One. One's by Razer and one's by Nacon. And the Nacon one is interesting because they basically made it an Xbox One controller. It's got the offset analog sticks and whatnot. It's got all the bells and whistles of the original, the regular DualShock. Got the triangle, circle, yada yada. But those offset sticks people are really excited about. I like the other one because it's set up like a PlayStation controller, which is what I like. But it looks like it looks like a Batarang.
It does. That's the first thing that came to my mind.
Yeah, so it looks. I don't know if that would be comfortable. I'd like to get my hands on it, but both of these motherfucking things are wired, and I know why they're wired because it's for pro gaming environments and competitions,
tournaments.
Exactly. Yeah. But motherfucker, if they couldn't just make a wireless option, so I could chill on my couch, because I'm like 25 feet away from, maybe 20 feet away from my TV. I don't know if a wired option is going to work for me.
That's unfortunate.
There's my rant. Why couldn't it be wired?
That is your
wireless. I mean, you don't care.
You are not the audience.
I am not the audience, and they cannot have my money. Unless the wire. I mean, if the wire is like super huge, if the wire is really big, maybe. Because it's got the so the features of the Razer one, which is the analog sticks are the same as the DualShock. It's got extra bumpers, detachable triggers, a built-in control panel on the front that looks like it controls like the mic, audio, yeah. Trigger stop switches so that you can fire more quickly if you're doing a first-person shooter. Headphone jack, detachable
custom
rubber
profiles.
Caps. Yeah, custom profiles. Long braided. It's a 3-meter long USB cable, actually. Oh.
That connects.
Wait a sec. It's detachable for easy storage? Does that mean it can No. It would say wireless, right?
I assume so.
Yeah. Okay. Well, 3 meters is still 9 feet's not long enough for me. But I could get a longer one if it's detachable and just buy a extender or whatever if I really cared. I'm not sure that I do.
Yeah, I mean, did these actually come with any prices yet?
I saw people conjecturing $99, which seems low.
That does seem low.
I didn't see any prices. If it's compared to the Elite was $150. Yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
Which I had pre-ordered and then I eventually canceled my pre-order because I couldn't justify paying that much for a freaking controller.
Yeah, Razer's site doesn't even have a price for it right now.
Right. So this is supposedly coming out this holiday season. And then the offset, looked like Xbox One controller-ish one, has an 8-way directional pad, so their D-pad is not the separated one that's on the DualShock 4 right now. It's got the detachable cord as well, the USB cord. And all of these controllers are going to work for Steam because DS4 is now compatible with Steam through the API. So, I mean, maybe there's some sweet PC controllers here.
That's true. Definitely, I don't know.
I like the triggers on the second one, the Xbox controller. You see the triggers kind of nestled in the back there.
Still has I could never get away from the complete circular D-pad.
I know, I don't like that at all.
I've never liked it. Yeah. But I guess some people do.
Yeah.
I guess it's probably better for fighting games.
Right.
Because you can roll easier. But I don't know. Neither one of them. I mean, I doubt I'll get either one.
Yeah, you're not that
I'm not there, and it's still the same issue as you. If I'm playing on it, I'm probably farther away than 9 feet.
Right.
Not by much. Probably more like 12 for me. But still, I don't really want a cable hanging down. It would hang down in front of my TV, actually.
Right.
So yeah, no.
First world problems. Cable. Boo. Okay. Next. You want to take the Nintendo news?
Sure, this was a nice, surprising announcement, but we will get Nintendo Switch presentation in January 2017.
Yeah, January. Didn't they say January
12th?
12th? Yeah.
12th, yeah.
Right.
January 12th. That will be basically a Nintendo Direct all about the Switch. So we at least know now a date that we'll get probably all the rest of the information, like exact release date, exact price, probably exactly what the console will ship with, like what the standard box will be, what the launch titles will be.
Right.
So, but they're waiting until the new year, which doesn't surprise me in some ways. Just wait till the holiday rush is over and then.
Yep. I feel like they at least told us about it before the holidays so people could kind of budget their money, which is something honestly I was thinking about because the PS4 Pro is slightly interesting to me, especially now that my PS4 is spitting discs all over the place. I don't know if you've heard about that issue.
I have heard about that issue.
Yeah.
The button is having problems.
So I've never had that problem before, but it started like randomly beeping and now spitting out discs. So I know there's a way I can rip it apart and fix it, but eventually, like if my PS4 died, I would definitely have to get a new one because I play that thing all the freaking time.
Yeah.
But I was, thinking about PSVR or maybe a PS4 Pro or even the Xbox One S or whatever. I probably wouldn't have purchased any of those, but I needed to know information about the Switch to know how to allot my money. So now that I heard about it, know it's coming, it's definitely, the more I think about it, the more I'm probably going to get it when it launches.
Yeah, I'm pretty much already talked with my wife, and yeah, it will be happening.
Yeah. And just so much potential. Like, we just need to know more, and I think this is Nintendo. I know this is Nintendo saying, everyone shut the fuck up, please stop asking us about the Switch, we'll tell you in January. Till then, leave us alone.
Yeah, pretty much. They're like, yep, good to know.
Yep.
Back to your regularly scheduled holiday stuff.
Exactly. Like, remember, we have Pokemon Sun and Moon coming out. Go back to 3DS. Look over there.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? I forgot. Oh, well.
Yeah. So, looking forward to it, though. But another Nintendo news, Pokemon Sun and Moon, biggest pre-orders ever.
And
For Nintendo,
the whole company. That's crazy.
As you said, thank you, Pokemon Go.
Definitely.
Best marketing tool ever.
Absolutely. People who
remembered Pokemon, basically.
Yeah, exactly. The ones who used to play it before but remembered it now and thought, oh, there's a new game coming out. Maybe I'll check it out. Or people like you who are like, I've never played Pokemon that much, but I'm going to check out Go. Oh, it's pretty cool. Maybe I'll pre-order the next game, which I think you did, right?
I did.
Yeah. So there you go.
I'll be getting Moon. I'll have to find someone who has Sun.
I know so little about them. I thought they were the same game.
They aren't. They are, but they aren't. They're different slightly. Mm-hmm. This one actually, Sun, you play during the day. Moon, you actually do play during the night. A lot of it. And there are unique Pokemon, at least a subset of unique ones in each game. So if you want to actually collect them all, you have to have someone with the opposite to trade.
That's cool.
They've been doing that since they were like Red and Blue, the original one. Like that's just
right.
That's how it works. And you play a different character. I don't even know if you play a different character, but there are differences. They're not the exact same game, just mostly the same game.
So is this a game you're going to play with your son? Is this a...
Yes, most likely.
Okay.
Like I will definitely... I doubt I will only play it while he's there.
Yeah, right.
Because that would be hard because he goes to bed earlier and I want to play. But he can definitely watch me while I'm playing, or he can... If it has multiple saves, I'll totally just let him play, make a game and play. Like, they're simple enough where I feel like he could grasp it pretty quickly.
Yeah. And that would be his first Nintendo game?
Yeah, for the most part.
Cool.
Yeah. I've let him just play on, like when the Wii U was here. I was like, here, try it out. And then that controller was awful for him.
So here, hold the gamepad.
Nah.
Oh my god. Like tips over.
Yeah, pretty much.
Jeez. Well, congrats to Nintendo. I'm glad that they have a lot of pre-orders for this. I know for a fact they would have a ton of pre-orders too for the Nintendo NES Classic if they ever let us pre-order the damn thing.
I want it. That's the one I want, and then I will be playing that with him. All sorts of awesome games, like Mario 3.
Right? It's crazy because when the news came out, I was so excited I wanted to pre-order it. And now that I've had time to think about it, like I'm probably not gonna get it, or I'm gonna wait a while to get it, or maybe never get it.
There's too many games on there that I actually want, and I want to be able to play them easily on my TV,
right?
Modern TV.
Not worried.
I could hook up. I don't have an NES, but I've looked at the process for actually hooking up an SNES or an NES to modern LCDs.
Yeah.
And actually making it look decent.
Right.
It's a pain in the ass. Like there are some big guides, especially on Reddit, that are like, yeah, you should probably buy this thing or that and this to actually like get all the stuff working right.
And then someone comes in and
not
says,
being stretched or the
right.
whole thing. I'm just like, oh god, I don't.
And then someone comes in and says, you know what, just get the ROM.
Yeah, kind of.
Just use your computer. I have a friend here who every time I mention this cute little Nintendo, he's like, just you can emulate it on your computer. I'm like, I know that, but the computer.
I don't want to play it on my computer.
I know the thing looks so pretty, but no one can buy it yet.
No. That's what it's out in a couple weeks.
The 11th.
2 weeks. Okay,
yeah.
2 weeks Tuesday.
We elect a new president, and then we get the Nintendo Classic. So, at least I think
either
we're
way,
gonna get one.
I can just play that and forget the world exists.
Yeah, that might be a good idea.
Think of nicer times when I was young and playing these games.
Right.
Didn't worry about anything.
Right. It's true. We worry about way too much. Speaking of worrying, I think Bethesda's worried about bad reviews. There's this kind of was a shitstorm this week too, where Bethesda put out their new policy that says we're not going to give out codes for reviews anymore until the game launches. So they're saying that they want to
24 hours before release.
Right.
That's when they'll give out keys.
Right. And their reason is that they want people to be able to make up their minds themselves, or I can't remember exactly what it was.
This is just like movies that don't screen.
Yeah, right.
For there's studios that don't screen their movies, good or bad. I do think Bethesda still is going to make good games.
Of course.
Honestly, Dishonored 2 looks really good still. Dishonored was good.
Yeah.
Dishonored 2 looks good.
Well, Doom was a game that
Fallouts and Skyrims are going to be fine. It's the whole thing. I'm just like, well, I don't think you make bad games. Well, you don't have a track record of making bad games.
Well, Doom came out, and it was really good, and it didn't have a review out early. So they're looking at that success, and I think it is fair to say that some of their games are broken when they launch on certain consoles, like Skyrim on PS3. I guess there are also some problems with the Skyrim Special Edition on PC right now, some sound issues, or I don't know exactly what it is.
I don't know. We can get to it playing. I've been playing. I've put 3 hours into it, and it's Skyrim.
It's still working?
Oh, yeah. Zero issues.
Okay.
It just runs.
Cool.
I'm like, okay. It's when people say people are having sound, it's PC. People are going to have issues.
Right.
And these people probably all have the same type of a specific piece of hardware.
Yep.
And who knows what that is, because you have to track that specific tiny little thing down. It's as a developer who's made games for PCs, it's a pain in the ass.
Right. Well,
actually figuring all this stuff out, pain in the ass.
There's a part of the notice here from Bethesda talking about the YouTubers and the influencers, the streamers, and some follow-up stuff I've read from outlets like IGN, for example. Dan Stapleton had a piece today on IGN about it.
I actually read that earlier today.
Yeah. Well, it seems like the influencers, these YouTubers, are getting the codes quite a bit early, with the caveat that they can't provide any critical impressions.
They can just do let's play.
Exactly right.
And I actually would say, from doing a lot of research in the last couple of years, those are the people that matter now.
Oh yeah, and that's
actual review sites don't really matter that much. They matter to a small core of the gaming audience.
Yeah.
But the Twitch streamers and YouTube streamers, those are the people that actually influence what gets bought.
That's interesting.
Honestly.
It's interesting to me because I'm of the review side. I like to read reviews, and then I'll go watch Let's Plays, just to see if I think the gameplay is good. But yeah.
But as I'm making games, that's the research I've been doing is like, okay, this actiony game that I've been working on for a while, like, what's the best path to get the most views to like create the most potential excitement? And it's all been like looking at it, it's like, no, it's Twitch streamers.
Right.
It's getting a Twitch streamer to actually play this in front of their audience, or just make them excited for it, and that's how you'll generate the most sales.
So this is Bethesda basically reacting to the market. Maybe
in
not.
some ways, in that way, if they're with them giving keys out to those, they are denoting that they clearly are like, the streamers are way more important to us than the reviewers.
That's right. And
which will make reviewers very pissed off, I'm sure.
Oh yeah. Well, the Stapleton review was interesting because of that Google graph, basically, where people are searching for. I think he used Dishonored as the example.
Yeah.
They're looking for new reviews day of, and then like even the next week it drops off by half, and then it's just drops off a cliff after that.
Yep.
So for sites like IGN, which are getting clicks and revenue based on these reviews, they're not going to get nearly as much now because the reviews are going to be out at least a week late or more.
Yep.
And they're going to be rushing. Like, for example, I was listening to one of their podcasts this week, and Marty Sleeva was talking about how he was the one who reviewed Mafia, but the code wasn't given out till, same thing, day of, basically. So he had to get on the Australian server, which opened first, and then start playing and just, like, marathon the game over the weekend and then threw up the review. Which...
Yeah, I mean...
I don't know.
Which isn't a good review.
No, I think you rush, you make mistakes and things like that.
Yeah, it's a kind of an odd situation where I'm like... I read reviews, but honestly, I've now myself have started turning more to watching, like, oh, I'm interested in this game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'm going to like it. Let's see if I can go find a Let's Play or a stream with someone playing the game.
Right.
And I don't need them that's the whole thing. I don't need them giving me critical analysis of the game. I just need to see it played. And I'm watching them, and I'm like, oh yeah, I could totally play it. That's a thing that I would like to play.
Right. You make your decision based upon the gameplay.
It's kind of a weird thing where it's like you're not, at that point, I'm not looking for someone to tell me if it's good or not. It's really just showing me, is this something I like or not? Right. It's a switch. It's totally a different switch. Honestly, there isn't really another media that can do this.
No,
movies
because
can't do it. Books, you don't want. It doesn't work. This is kind of a unique thing to video games.
Yeah, and it's unique because I feel like people, I believe, when you play a video game, you have a slightly different experience than someone else does. So even though you watch someone play it, you play it yourself, and that's a different experience, as opposed to watching a movie.
Yeah,
you're watching the movie.
Yeah. So it's an interesting thing. Like, I don't completely fault Bethesda in this. I don't think I think we'll see how this plays out overall, but I kind of feel like this might be where the market's moving towards. So We'll see if other publishers follow suit, and they're just like, fine. Yep. Like, the niche gaming press has become less important as time has gone on.
I think what you're going to see on the sites like GameSpot or IGN or whatever in reaction to this is other ways to monetize their content, which may or may not be annoying as fuck. So
yeah, it kind of could get into that spiral where you're like, yeah, you're making annoying ads and things like that, and now I stopped going to your site. And yeah, I don't envy being in that market right now.
No, I don't either.
Envy than that in probably like 5 years. It's not the easiest thing. I mean, Polygon is a full example of the whole way that works. They started with we're going to do much more long form journalism on games. We're going to do less clickbaity article, like really not do any. Like when they launched, they just had this mission statement of just being like, we are journalism for video games. And that collapsed within like a year.
Because lack of revenue.
Clicks.
Yeah. Right.
Because you need to drive people to click and to view, and so they've gotten less long form stuff. Their long form stuff originally was so good.
And so it's a sad statement on where we are as media consumers, where I think we would say that we want less clickbaity things, but overall the populace is drawn toward those things, either because of psychology. or genuine interest in those not mundane, but just, I don't know, frivolous things. Best of lists or BuzzFeed lists or whatever.
Yep, BuzzFeed, cracked list.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a pretty big. It goes like when you ever look at Bethesda, it goes beyond video game reviews. It's a bigger issue affecting all journalism right now.
Oh, of course. Absolutely. We have newspapers dying, being less relevant, being, less long-form journalism. I think recently the New York Times Magazine, I think it was the August issue, one of the August issues, had they took the whole magazine to talk about kind of the rise of ISIS in the Middle East, and it was basically like a short book, and it was, what's the word I'm looking for? It stood out because it was so long, and that's kind of going by the wayside, which is sad.
It is, because some things are hard to explain in short sentences or lists.
Right.
It actually takes a lot. Very few things are so simple that you can just say it in like a sentence.
And we need people to be able to process longer messages and thoughts and complex things, and we're just, I feel like we're dumbing down a little bit, and not like in an apocalyptic view, like the whole country's going to hell, but I feel like our attention span is a little shorter, and we're not taking the time to think things through as much as we should as a informed populace, and that's a little scary.
It is.
So there you go. That, I think, covers all the news, right?
It does.
Oh, we have a couple of small little things we want to throw in.
Yeah, little tiny things.
I texted Anthony this week and I said the naming convention for Kingdom Hearts is totally stupid because I don't get it at all. It is
stupid.
Because we said this because the Kingdom Hearts HD remix 1 and 2 basically are coming
1.5 and 2.5.
What the fuck, whatever. Those things are coming to PS4.
Let's be clear. It's not 1 and 2. It's 1.5 and 2.5, whatever the hell that means.
And that's coming out before.
It's just other games.
And that's coming out before or after. It's going to be named 4, right? Kingdom Hearts 4.
No, Kingdom Hearts 3.
Wait, what?
The new one coming out
is 3.
Is 3.
Yes, but these two together.
These two together
are Kingdom Hearts 4.
4? What?
Because it's 1.5 plus 2.5.
Oh, God. Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
So I'm confused.
Let's just add them on. Yeah, so I think with this plus 2.8 final, because of course, why would 2.8 not be final?
Yeah, of course.
And then with 3 coming out, you'll have like a month where you can play every Kingdom Hearts game on the PS4.
There you go. Which is, at the end of the day, that's what people want, whatever you name them. But for someone like me who's not keyed in, but I'm interested in the idea of Square plus Disney, hard to figure out.
I do recommend it. I mean,
where to start?
The first one. The first one was great in that combination of the two. You're just like, this shouldn't be a thing, yet it works so well together.
Right.
And you're just jumping through, and you have Mickey and Goofy with you, and Donald. God, it was so good. And then Cloud's there. Sephiroth just is there sometimes. All the different other different different Final Fantasy X characters show up. And just like, what is this game?
Mm-hmm.
Why does this exist? And I think in 2 somewhere, or maybe one of the, 2.5 or one of those offshoot ones, they go to Tron.
Oh, really?
It's a whole setting in Tron.
Huh.
And I'm like, I kind of want to play it just to see that, because I'm just kind of curious. Because they just start pulling all sorts of Disney-owned properties.
It's almost like
not just the animated stuff.
Lego Dimensions, like everything kind of put into one game.
Kind of. And then you just add Square stuff on top of it.
Right.
It's bizarre. It's such a bizarre thing. But I don't know. My wife really likes it.
Cool.
Most of 1, I played 1, but she's played, I think, most of all of 1 and 2. But she played it in Japanese.
Oh, yeah. So
she had that with her Japanese PS2.
Is she in the market for these games then? Is she looking
to
like replay them?
If she had time.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that works out by middle of next year. If she has time, I could totally see her wanting to get this and play it.
Right.
But right now, video games are not that high on her list of things that she wants to be doing.
Right. Makes sense. Another piece of news, which I think I'm the only person on this podcast who gives a fuck. The Show 17 revealed their cover athlete, and it, for the U.S. at least, is Ken Griffey Jr., which is crazy because he's not an active player. He just
it's not. I did notice that. I was like, why is it? Okay.
Yeah, he's last year was Donaldson, year before that was Puig, year before that was I think Verlander. Not Verlander. Ooh, I forget. Anyway, usually it's an active player, and this is not. And Griffey just went into the Hall of Fame, so maybe that's why. But it harkens back to Ken Griffey Jr. Major League Baseball on the Super Nintendo, which was probably the best baseball game ever.
There's a lot of nostalgia there for people knowing him as a player and for that video game back in the day. So more power to them. They know what they're doing from a marketing standpoint.
That's right. They got a lot of buzz for it so far. But I tend to skip every other year. Like I bought 14, I skipped 15, I bought 16. I'll probably wait by the even years.
Yeah.
Last piece of news: Titanfall 2, no paid DLC, no season pass. It's just all free.
Holy crap!
Crazy, huh? That's weird.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
I was surprised that game came out this week. What?
Yeah. What a shitty time to drop that game. They would have put it out in March.
I feel like EA is just totally like. No, I don't even think they need to do March. I think they just needed to. So Battlefield 1 came out.
Yep.
I think they needed to wait at least 5 weeks. Like, you can get it out, like, the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. Would have been totally fine.
Yeah,
but
I don't get it at all. Everyone was screaming from the rooftops to just delay the game a couple weeks so that more people will buy it, which means the population will be higher. But from all accounts, the game is rad.
Yeah, I've heard the reviews and, like, stuff. I've actually watched some people playing it, and I'm like, this looks like Titanfall plus. Like,
yep.
Everything that fans wanted originally. I'm saying the original Titanfall was kind of shallow, didn't have a lot going for it. I'm like, well, they pretty much took all that feedback to heart and made a better game.
And apparently they took a lot of the feedback from the beta as well for the multiplayer and made a lot of changes that people are just super stoked about. It's just, for me, it's not worth. I mean, it sucks because the devs deserve all the money they can get for these great games, but with Battlefield and with Titanfall and with Call of Duty, it's not worth it for me to buy the game full price because I'm not playing the multiplayer.
It's true.
So I'm just, at least for Battlefield, for example, I've played through a third of the campaign, so I'm just going to rent it and play the rest of the campaign, and then I'm never going to play the game again. So that's just how I roll. Which sucks.
Yeah, I'll probably pick it up later or get someone I know that still works at EA to get it for me cheap. Mm-hmm. Eventually.
Yeah. That would make sense.
That and Battlefield 1. I probably will get those that way.
The Battlefield 1 campaign.
I want to play them eventually. I'm sorry, I just don't want to spend $60 on something that I really won't play a lot of multiplayer on.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Like if they put out something that said, $60 for the whole game, or here's pay $30 or $20 and play the campaign, I'd pay that right now and play the campaign. That'd be worth it. Yeah. But that's not how this works.
No.
So, yeah, so that's all the news that we have. Anything else to add, Anthony?
No, I think we covered it all.
We definitely did. So when we come back from the break, we will chat about what we're playing. So stay there. We'll be right back. All right, my friends, welcome back from the break. I'm Anthony's friend, and he's Larry's friend. I almost called myself Anthony.
True.
Nice save right there.
And
there's I don't know if you heard this call for the San Francisco Giants, but John Miller. Okay, so Hunter Pence hit a home run, and John Miller was so excited and he started screaming, "Buster Posey's good friend Hunter Pence just hit a home run!" It was so awesome.
Nice catch there, right in the middle of screaming.
Yep, exactly how it happened. So you're playing you're playing quite a bit.
Kind of. I mean, two things. I played a bunch of Diablo 3.
Of course.
Season. I'm almost to chapter 4 of my season's journey, which is basically do a bunch of stuff in Torment level 4. Mm-hmm. So I hit 70, and now I'm progressing through the Torment levels.
Right.
Doing that, and then I think that's usually where I die at. Once I beat 4, that gets you your full set. You get your portrait frame and your pet or wings when the season's up, and that's usually where I stop. Other people go, there's 8 chapters total, and I do know, like, if you can progress through the other 4, you get a free stash tab.
And what does that do for you?
So in Diablo 3, now you have your stash,
Mm-hmm.
how many items you can store. Like, you played the PC version, right?
Yeah.
As well.
Mm-hmm.
So normally you have to buy those with in-game gold.
That's right, with gold.
So you so you can have a certain number bought with gold, but then they're giving, in the seasons, if you max out your season journey, you get a free extra one of those.
That's cool.
So I don't care enough, but
yeah.
I figure I'm just gonna get through my season journey. It's pretty fun. I'm still having a fine time with it. I will play it probably now for a few weeks, and then I'll forget about it, and then season 9 will start, and I'll play again.
Yep,
that's just it totally works, and I'm okay with that.
We're following your journey on the podcast, because this is the second season you've gotten into in the last 2 months, 3 months, something like that.
Yeah, pick a class. I did a Crusader this time.
Mm-hmm.
I'll probably pick another class next time that I haven't played a season with. So you can just rotate, and maybe there'll be another big. If it's not an expansion for D3 and it's D4, I still expect there'll probably be one more big update for D3.
Oh, cool.
Before D4. Like, I don't think they'll just abandon it where it's at. I feel like there'll be a final kind of like thank the audience for being there for so long with it.
Yeah.
And be like, here you go. Here's a couple new, kind of like what they did with Secheron and a couple of the Grey Hollow coasts, where they're like, here's not complete acts, but here's a couple new zones.
I feel like they're hitting their stride with 3, so to walk away now, I don't know. It seems like it's going pretty strong.
So yeah, I feel like no matter what, there'll be something good for D3 coming out of BlizzCon. And then Friday at 5 o'clock, or Thursday at 5 o'clock? No, yeah, Thursday at 5 o'clock. Technically midnight. Is that GMT? Wherever. Mm-hmm. When they decided, I got Skyrim Special Edition in Steam.
Just popped in your library.
Actually, I could preload it a few days earlier.
Oh, okay.
When I looked, it was like, oh, I do have it. Okay.
Nice.
Which is news to me. I didn't know if I owned all the DLC or not.
Right.
I guess I did.
That's awesome.
So Thursday when I got home after the kids went to bed, I played for an hour, and I played, I think, 3 hours total since Thursday, just messing around with it. It's Skyrim. It's pretty. It's kind of weird in some ways because I'm pretty sure I could go back to non-special edition Skyrim with mods and make it look prettier.
Huh, really? So it didn't make it look...
Although mods will be next... Well, the mods are kind of ridiculous. I could definitely see Bethesda being like, yeah, we're not going to ship these assets like natively because we're talking huge textures. Download size would be insane.
Yeah.
But next week they're releasing the creation kit for the special edition, and there's a bunch of mod makers that are already going to port all their mods over to it. So I don't know. I'm just playing through it again, and I'm like, it's Skyrim. We'll see if it. I don't think it will hold my attention that long. I could be wrong, but
because you've already played the whole game, right? You beat it.
No, I've never beat Skyrim.
Oh, okay.
I've never. The only Bethesda game I've actually beat is Fallout 3.
Of all of the okay.
Of all Bethesda games, because I get sidetracked.
Well, yeah, of course.
I put huge amounts of hours into all these other games. I just don't do the story. I even have the mindset. I'm like, I'm going to log in. I'm going to do the story. This is the quest I'm going to do. And then about 5 minutes into that, I'm like, hey, what's this on the map? And then it just spirals out of control.
It's bad for people with problems with ADD, I imagine.
It's not even ADD. You're just like, oh, there could be something neat over there. Let's go see what's over there. And then it just, of course, starts a different quest, or you find something. Yeah.
Right. Absolutely.
The original time I played Skyrim, the first time I played Skyrim is. So have you played it at all?
Yeah. I put about 8 hours into it.
So did you go to the top of the mountain yet?
Yes.
To be taught about
the shouts and things
and stuff. So, Yeah.
Yep.
So It took me 30 hours to get there.
Damn. Yeah, took me 8. Okay, that says it all.
I got to the first main city, got my house in the main city, and then I just started exploring, not realizing how important it was to go to the top of that mountain.
You didn't know what it did for you.
I didn't care.
Yeah.
And then 3 hours in, I actually went to the top of the mountain. I was like, man, I should have done this about 20 hours ago.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Oh, it's so bad.
Well, I'm using like the console commands to like just fucking cheat my way through that game anyway, so I didn't really need all the shouts and things. So
Yeah.
I was trying to just get through the story. It was interesting, but so much to play. It just didn't hold me.
And so doing that, and then Wednesday I had the first actual session of my Star Wars role-playing
Oh,
game.
nice. All face-to-face, right?
Face to video, yes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you're using the Roll20.
Roll20, and then, but we all have video.
Okay,
So
right.
we're all 2 people down in Southern California, person, and one other person up here in a suburb of Seattle, and then my wife and I here at our house. So I'll distribute it. It worked. Went pretty well. Did
Nice.
a couple hours, and already planning for 2 weeks for the next session.
Cool.
So
It's
that
fun.
takes a lot of time to actually do. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. It's something I've missed doing, especially with this group of people.
Right.
So having them all there, it was like, okay, we laughed a lot, made a ridiculous story. So
That's awesome. That
they
sounds awesome.
they didn't eviscerate my story. They just kind of added to it, which was great.
Right. Well, that
So,
sounds fun. Well,
it was
congrats
fun.
on getting that off the ground.
Yeah, hope it continues to go.
Yeah.
It's hard. It makes it realize how hard it is to schedule people in adult lives.
Oh my god, it's like herding cats. Like trying to find a free 2
actually,
hours.
I have this commitment on this. God, but I think we've planned it out for at least the next. In 2 weeks, everyone's cool, and then the 2 weeks after that, I think we have to wait for a third week because it's Thanksgiving and people are traveling.
Right.
So, but still, it's like, God. But trying to figure out the time whenever it's around Thanksgiving, we're like, okay, can anyone do? Because it would be the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. Can anyone do the Tuesday before Thanksgiving? Okay, no, because there's other commitments. Can anyone do the Sunday after Thanksgiving? No, not back yet. Okay.
Right.
Oh, such a pain. But we got it. It's all set.
Cool. I'm gonna pause you there before I get into my games. I'm gonna hang up and call you back because you're buzzing real bad.
It's to you now.
All right. So what I've been playing this week, really 2 things. First of all, Batman Episode 3 Telltale came out this week. Dropped on, I think it was Tuesday. And I played it Tuesday night. Played it and finished it Tuesday night. It was about a 2 hour, maybe an hour and 45, something like that. Maybe even 2:15, not sure.
I've heard good things about it.
Fucking hell, it was so good. Like, it was my favorite Episode 3 that I've played of any Telltale game so far. It made me almost cry. It made me like gasp in shock. The ending was such a crazy cliffhanger. Like, I didn't see it coming at all, and I'm usually pretty good at guessing where the plot's going. The voice acting's good. The choices are interesting. It's freaking great. It's really, you got to play that game eventually.
I will. I'm gonna wait till they're all out, and I'm just gonna go through it all.
Yeah, that makes sense. I kind of like doing it episodically as long as it's regularly released because it gives me something to look forward to, and it's easy to sit down and finish one off in a night.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't want to spoil anything about it, but it's good. It's well worth everyone's time.
Yeah.
Other game was Uncharted 3 this week, and I started it last week and kind of got a third of the way through and started Batman. And once I played Batman, I kind of thought I wouldn't get back into Uncharted because I was in the middle of it. That second third is it's a slog for me. It was just, the game's a little bloated, which is interesting because it's shorter than Uncharted 2. But I don't know, like the part where you're on the boat.
The pacing is just not as good in 3.
No, not at all.
But it starts good and it ends good.
Yeah, it starts wonderfully. The ending is with a bang. The first third and the last third are great. The middle third I could do without. I didn't really see much narrative reason for having the middle of it, which was part of the problem. I guess they didn't want to have a 6-hour game, so
Yeah.
that's pretty much why. But the end is a trip. Like, I mean, spoiler alert, I guess this is an old game, but like the water and the drugging him, and he's, it was so clever where he sees Sully die and, kind of goes crazy chasing after Talbot, and then he finds Sully again, points the gun at him, and, that whole thing happens, and then he says, "You went crazy ever since you drank the water." It's like, oh yeah, he did drink the water.
It's a nice, because one of the big complaints is that the endings of Uncharted 1 and 2 are very similar.
Yeah.
And that 3 actually did a different type of ending. Like, fine, like they took that criticism to heart. Like 1 and 2, 2's ending did feel similar to 1's in a lot of ways. That not completely, but in 1 you had the tomb that opened that creates the monster creatures that are attacking the zombie. Not really zombies, but they're weird infected things. And then 2 you have the like, I don't even remember what they're called, the like Yeti people that are drinking the sap that are making them super strong. Like there's just parallels there that felt recycled in some ways.
Right.
2 did it far better.
Oh yeah.
But I feel like that was one of the complaints that 2 got after it came out, even for being amazing, was like, all right, you treaded a little close at the end there. And I feel like 3, they just were like, no, we're not doing that again. So let's go.
Yeah, they went off on a tangent there that last third.
Yeah.
It kind of felt like a different game narratively, but I just thought the writing was so good between Nate and Elena and even Sully.
Yep.
I just don't know how Sully does everything he does wearing a button-up shirt and like dress shoes.
Because he's that good.
Yeah, but I mean, then again, Nate's getting shot and all of a sudden he regens his health if you hide behind a rock. So
yeah. Oh, welcome to modern shooters.
Yeah, you gotta suspend disbelief. But I immediately loaded up Uncharted 4, started downloading the update. It was like a 9 gig update, which kind of sucked. And then my PS4 spit the disc out. So luckily I was standing next to it and caught it. But yeah, I'm gonna play it. I have a couple more pieces of work to grade tonight after I produce the show, but I'm gonna start it tonight. Uncharted 4.
Oh, it's so pretty.
Oh, I can't wait.
That's the thing, you're gonna see it, and it's like, sure, you've been playing the like remastered versions of 1 to 3.
Yeah.
But for something that's actually designed for the PS4,
right?
God, it's gorgeous. It's so pretty. I gotta remember how it opened. I think you'll enjoy the opening, especially with Elena and everything.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, it's really, if I remember right, it's a really good kind of opening, setting the tone, I don't even know how many years after Uncharted 3 it is. I'd have to go back and look. But it's definitely, you're just gonna get a sense of what's going on, and it's a change.
Well,
it's nice.
I can't wait. You know how I play, where I will bounce around from thing to thing, and I'm always looking for the next thing to grab me. And I don't think, I mean, even Mass Effect didn't really grab me as a series, as opposed to each game really grabbed me. This, like, as soon as I finished 2, I had to pick up 3, and as soon as I finished 3, I needed to start playing 4. Like, this whole series is like, except for 1. 1 sucked, but other than that, it's really grabbed me. Sorry guys, 1's fucking blue. It was not great. And
I wouldn't go that far.
Oh my god.
It's not the worst thing out there.
No, I mean, I'd rather play it than
it was good for the time.
Yeah.
I mean, what was the time? What year was that?
7?
No, it was earlier than that.
It was?
No, earlier.
Really?
When was the PS? It was a launch title, I believe, on the PS3.
Right.
2006. Yes, 2006.
Release date 2007. Yep.
Okay.
November 2007.
All right.
And
I just remember I got a copy at PopCap. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Like they just got a couple copies and it was like, here, have it and play it. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I think you're right for the time. Just playing it back.
It was always compared, like, at the time when 1 came out, it was like, oh, this is Sony's Gears of War.
Gears of War?
Because it's the same Gears of War is a cover-based shooter.
Right.
So the Sony is like now with has taken a cover-based shooter and added like a Tomb Raider, Indiana Jones thing to it. But it's still just a cover-based shooter.
Yeah,
right. So that was their. I always remember that being the comparison of gameplay style.
That makes
being
sense.
like, because I think Gears was like one of the first cover-based shooters.
No wonder it was so lauded when it came out.
It was, except I really didn't like it. Mostly content. I just didn't care about. I don't care about the Gears story. I don't care about the characters or any of that. Yeah, I just don't care. But the gameplay clearly has had a lot of impact. If you look at the Uncharted series, lots of games, and Mass Effect. Honestly, Mass Effect 2 borrowed cover-based stuff pretty heavily.
Yep. Even like Rise of the Tomb Raider is a lot of cover-based mechanics.
Yeah, I mean, it's influenced games a lot in the past decade. Like, that's probably one of the biggest things.
What's the highest difficulty you've beaten the Uncharted games on? Do you just play normal or?
Normal. I just play it through on normal.
Yeah, me too. Well, I did Uncharted 2 actually on easy, and I was way too easy, so I put normal on this one.
Yeah, normal's not too hard usually.
Nah.
Makes you have to think during gunfights a little bit.
Yep, exactly. So yeah, those 2 games I've been playing this week. Gonna play Uncharted 4 tonight. We are recording Saturday a little early this week because of softball and stuff I have next week, tomorrow. Yeah. So when we come back from the break, Anthony and I are gonna chat about some things we're reading on the internet that have nothing to do with games. So stay right there, and we will be right back. All right, folks, welcome to our off-topic section. This one's titled, What's in Your Browser tab? It's basically, what are you reading on the internet that has nothing to do with games? And I'll go first because I think mine's short.
I don't think it can be shorter than mine.
Oh, really? Okay.
If we actually want to talk about browser tabs, I don't keep a browser open with tabs often.
What?
Like, I have tabbed browsers, but I close my browser a lot. Like, so my wife keeps like 12 tabs open.
Yep. My wife too.
I do not.
Right.
Like, I usually have 1 or 2 tabs, maybe 3. And well, let's be honest, some of those are, well, one is usually dedicated Twitter.
Right.
So whenever you say that, I'm like, I don't know, I don't keep tabs open. But if it's a talk of like other things that I've been reading, I can do that. So usually because it's stuff off of Twitter.
Right.
Well, I mean, politics. That always comes up. I read things through Twitter on politics a bunch. Beyond that, actually, a lot of what I read outside of game stuff does come through like Twitter. Twitter mostly. I don't really. Facebook usually isn't a place where I read a bunch of stuff because it's full of mostly memes, not articles. But Twitter, I follow a bunch of people that post really good articles usually of all sorts of things, like Ian Bogost. There's a writer for The Atlantic and video games, and he just has an interesting take on interaction and games and media. And so usually I read his stuff that he links. William Gibson, I love his Twitter feed. It's very political right now, but usually when it's not political, it just has tons of crazy tech stuff that I would never see.
It's interesting
normally.
The divide you talk about between Twitter and Facebook in terms of like the quality of stuff that you're seeing. It's kind of what used to be the divide between like MySpace and Facebook, where Facebook was kind of more, I don't know, elevated or educated or I don't know, more thoughtful, and now it's not.
I will actually say Twitter is not that. I have just made my feed that.
Yeah, and I guess you could.
It's
with
the
Facebook
people
too.
I follow. Well, on Facebook I feel bad because I have to follow family and friends and things like that. I mean, I guess I could unfollow everybody and just give me like the. But
yeah,
that's
I guess
not the
so.
point.
Right, exactly.
But Twitter is I'm pretty much focused on like things that I'll find interesting. Like I don't use it as a. Twitter as I'm going to keep in touch with friends and family and
Right.
see what their lives are like. Twitter is a thing that I'm like, feed me interesting content that I actually want to consume.
Yeah, that makes sense.
A lot of stuff on movies. I read a bunch of stuff on like, actually a lot on, specifically on screenwriting and editing on movies.
Twitter is where my wife finds all of her news at, and then I get a lot of my news through her. So it's nice how you can curate who you're following. I feel like sometimes it makes us siloed, but if you're thoughtful about how you curate your own lists.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely can make me silent. I guess that's where Facebook with friends and family can also not make me siloed. And I'm like, okay. Although there are plenty of times when I get nice, like really good links through Twitter that like try to make me like, all right, step back, look at something from someone else's perspective.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
And I appreciate that when it's from a thoughtful perspective. Like, even if it's diametrically opposed to who I am, as long as it's thoughtful, it helps me learn.
Yes.
But if it's just ranting and lies, it's just not interesting.
Yeah.
Not much to offer.
This is another place, like I use a lot of tab, like Twitter, which opens other tabs, which is a lot of like a talk this time, like the old cocaine ads from like the 70s. I follow things that are showing me like ads and pictures from like the 50s and 60s and 70s. And it's given me a good perspective on like a lot of like, oh, things were different then, even that I realized growing up being told about at the time.
Right.
So that's always been an interesting thing to read stuff about that, or just see pictures and like albums of that kind of stuff.
Right. Yeah, it's cool to see like the time where we were growing up unaware of things outside of our little bubble and seeing what that was actually at that time. That's an interesting thought. For me, I'm just literally consumed every second by this election. I am on Reddit politics all the time, reading through.
I think I'd probably like stab a pencil through my brain if I had to do that all day.
Oh my god, I can't stop. It's 5:38 and it's Reddit politics. Just seeing like every hour like what's changed, what's different, what polls have come out. I cannot stop. I'm so like the thing that stopped me from checking like all the gaming Reddit that I would check every morning, every afternoon, every night is politics, and just so anxious about this election. But there was actually a pretty cool article on 538 having nothing to do with the election about the title of the article is "The Gone Girl with the Dragon Tattoo on the Train." Why are there so many books with girl in the title? And it's by Emily St. John Mandel, who did I believe it was Station 11 she wrote, which is kind of a post-apocalyptic book. But it was talking about how just more and more books are put out with the word girl in the title, and that most of the characters in the book are actually women and not girls, which is a little annoying, and that the books with girl in the title written by men, those girls tend to die more than books written by women with girl in the title. 17% of those women die versus 5% for female authors.
I'm sorry, I'm looking at the article, and the first chart is we may not have reached peak girl.
Yeah, isn't that awesome?
This article's hilarious.
It is really funny. I mean, it's serious, but at the same time, I mean, how serious? This is not like life change. Well, maybe let me rephrase that. It is a serious thing because the way that we portray women and girls in media has a big impact on how girls see themselves and how men treat girls. But at the same time, she's kind of like, what the fuck is with all the girl stuff? Like,
it's clearly. I mean, I haven't read it, but I assume she's positing at one point there was a book that did really well with girl in the title,
and that would be The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. That's where she goes.
And then that's basically people are piggybacking a bit on that now. On like,
yep, exactly.
Hey, that's sold.
That's exactly right.
Just keep pushing. I mean,
and she's saying like no one knows for sure that's what sold those books, and people were trying, and a lot of things sell. And she's saying that even with my books, I have no idea what sells the book. They either sell or they don't. But it is funny that all three of these books I've read, and I guess I read pretty widely, but at first blush, these probably aren't books that I would read, but they were all great. So I don't know. They were just good books.
Yeah, I read Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. I enjoyed that book. I read it before the movie came out, the U.S. movie, because that was more of an attachment of I like David Fincher as a director, so Fight Club and the whole thing. I was like, oh, I want to see what his take on this is. What is this about? Oh, it's this book. All right, let's read the book before going to the movie. And that's done that. I did not read Gone Girl.
Except for the last chapter, that book is thrilling. It was so good.
Okay. I haven't seen the movie either, though.
And the movie's good. I thought it did a pretty good job of being faithful to the book. I mean, she's the one that wrote the screenplay too. So.
But wait, didn't Fincher direct Gone Girl too, as well? I think so.
Hell if I know.
Oh my God, is he just gonna make movies with "girl" in the title?
Yeah. Wait a second. There's another connection. Yeah, it was good. I would recommend it. I recommend the book for sure. But yeah, so that's what I've been reading. Nothing outside of politics and games too much lately. So hopefully this election ends soon, so I could put me on my misery in terms of following politics.
Are you following the World Series at all?
Am I following what?
The World Series?
Oh yeah, we just watched Game 4 tonight, and
not that I'm following at all, but
goddamn
I know
Cubs.
the Cubs are down.
Fucking hell, Cubs! Like I need the Cubs to win because my team lost to the Cubs. Like they need to win, so we lost to the best. But they just are terrible right now. They're beating themselves. They can't hit. Yeah, it's really bad.
So they're down 3-1 now?
They are down 3-1, which means they're basically done. It's unlikely they're going to come back, which sucks. The curse of the Billy Goat is going to continue.
It's true.
Yeah, sad. But yeah, we're following it.
Posting about this World Series that have never talked about baseball at all.
Really?
Yes, but they're just like, I grew up in Chicago. I know this is important. I have to be watching this. I have to care.
Yep, exactly.
I've been told all my life this is important.
Well, let's set up two stadiums full of people for 2 nights in a row to pay X thousands of dollars for a ticket to watch their team get crushed. Oh, God. It's just sad. I want the Cubs to win so bad, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah.
So.
Likely not at that. A 3-1, yeah, that's going to take. The probabilities are low on that.
Very low.
It can happen. It can.
Before the end of this game, 538 had the chances of the Indians winning at 67%, and now the chances are 85%. Oh,
okay.
So let's put it into political perspective. The Cubs' chance of winning the World Series is about as much as Trump's winning the election right now.
Okay.
So actually a little lower. So. If you think Trump's going to lose, then the Cubs are definitely going to lose. So, we'll see.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, okay.
All right, man. Thanks so much for spending time with me tonight and recording this episode and sharing some of the news. I love talking about games, so I appreciate it.
So do I. Thank you.
And thanks to the audience for listening. Again, check out our Steam group. It's Prof and Dev Play Games. We're going to curate some curating stuff.
Yeah.
And, we'll keep in touch over Twitter and stuff, too. So until next week, folks, thanks for listening.
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.